make the world as a digital simulation, really, to digitalize, to steal life. It is an anti-life program. It's moving from carbon-based life to silicon-based life, to a digital twin of the world that they can control, that is disconnected from spirit. And
I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work, you're left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats.
Some of the fucking retards that can't help themselves.
But when the
Yeah,
time
you get to
comes,
die. That's all y'all get to do. You get to die in the most miserable, unpleasant, worse than anything any man can imagine. Leave.
Just no moms, but also no posses. Worshiping pedophiles.
I don't want to save you,
children's spirits to robots. Turn
don't
all
want
of
to
us
save
from
you.
carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system irrigation and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street.
Ew.
I'm not some master teacher, no am I some pastor or preacher. Was released from prison with this passion to speak of. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up.
This right here. Oh yeah. Magnesium, you'll go to sleep. Oh yeah. See how the chia seeds and the blueberries, goat milk with real cacao and a tablespoon of mesquite honey.
But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
we're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? Where we should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the Golem, bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
The vital forces that make up creation. Fire represents directed will, energy radiating out from the center, and action.
If you're not living as a divine being, then you are not living at all. I assess you are merely existing at best or worse. You are on the path to death. I suggest you reflect, restore, and resurrect your the I am, the way, the truth, and the light. Thus you become the master of your own destiny. This is what is meant to have a life. Cops usually watching, scavengers plotting, communities lying. Due to a cell phone for males grown, not used to a jail zone. To escape hell, it'll be you do a tell on impunity shopping. As if immunities are bargain or everlasting cash gift card when past live. Old school Ruzies rocking. Islam just speed up the clock, peace loving. Unity is forgotten. I recall vivid, draw yours to no truth. Yo, you must live it. Life you can't trick it. End up stiff or rigid. As a boy in some more from some kids biscuit. Instead of playing by principle, you play with it. Try to outsling it, but that chick's wicked. That's why I walk upright as the Kamo did. And like a snake on his belly, the time of who slid you there. If you're not living as a divine being, then you are not living at all. I assess you are merely existing at best or worse. You are on the path to death, I suggest you reflect, restore, and resurrect your. That I am the way, the truth, and the light. Thus, you become the master of your own destiny. This is what it's meant to have a life. Now, as role play, become the substitute for realness.
I'm not rude. What's up, Jack?
My medicine, having shit deep into the illness of materialism. You must possess just to feel blessed. I guess it's sex, express sex, murder, and drugs. So, of course, your judgment.
Lemonade. I know a couple of OnlyFans models that work with Lemonade. The idiots.
Also, Carter, your healer, pumps life of people despite the evil party killer. CPR's needed, it's like the heart stiller. Cause you bought with a bounce, don't make you heart or rilla. You bombard the clubs, don't make you a card dealer.
And a few other government protagonists. Weaklings. Y'all are not smart. Not at all. Not even the AI, chat, but none of it's smart.
Thus you become the master of your own destiny. This is what is meant to have a life. It's time for love, what's with the hate? Young lady, a video, girl's not your fate. Cultivate your talent, cause it's God-given. Status of society makes it hard living. You out of gas like a car driven. Till the tank is on E, we start sitting behind a bar prison. Yo, through the power for me, too sour for me. In my mind's eye, I visualize our story as it should be. A tower of glory. Or
look at the gimbal.
I chose to adore, they say I'm going soft. Exemplify fly, they say I'm showing off. What they meant was I'm the chosen boss. Crackheads, cash stones, don't feast horn soft. I opt to not respond instead of going off. And straight iron like sun do, I stay shining like the sun do in the daytime right in front you. Why they wanna like the young dude? It's fine, make the mistake. Think I'm too comfortable or too humble. Cross the fine line, I'ma hunt you. Divine law run you down and punish you with swift justice and be done with you. A 1-2, and I don't stop. I'm gonna keep on rocking to the knock of my aunt. So if you forgot the code of a go-getter for the opportunity, yo, I won't stop. If you're not living as a divine being, then you are not living at all. I assess you are merely a just at best or worse. You are on the path to death. I suggest you reflect, restore, and resurrect your. That I am the way, the truth, and the light. Thus you become the master of your own destiny. This is what it's meant to have a life.
We have earth, physical, the force that holds the atoms together. The force that holds the atoms together, very clear. Earth represents practical applications, and earth also represents consolidation. Let's deal with the air principle. Air represents intellect. Air represents the energy that shapes the pattern of things to come. And air also represents communication. Last of the 4 cardinal elements we talk about is water. Water represents soul. Water represents emotions. Water represents the power of the unconscious mind. The power of the unconscious mind. Water represents connecting to the source. And water also represents reception. Fire is represented by 3 of the zodiac houses, those being Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Earth represents Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Water represents Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And air represents Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius.
To my knees, J Bravo, Bravo. Plenty much gratitude for this collabo. Yeah, it's been a long time since Greensville, bro, star. Yet we here now. And the ancestors said to fuck some shit up. So here we are. Check it out. Is it the Great Reset or the Great Awakening? Great America or make America great again? Zombie apocalypse or a space invasion from an alien? Or is it enemy or a fake friend? Artificial intelligence and clones are scriptural. Is it miracle or a spell cast magic ritual? Is it religion or is the path spiritual? Is the class pan-African but status aboriginal? I'm not here to debate or be argumentative. Little bit of common sense to dictate we are innocent. Their intent is to slip the start of as if they swift with our children who's being robbed of their vid. Human trafficking, child sacrifice, adrenochrome, corrupt government in position to defend its own. You part of the resistance for sure. They gon' send a drone for a live fact checking, but I been in a zone since I been home. Been on some less chant down Babylon, Jericho, whatever name you give it, but let's rally on. With or without you, I'm still gon' tally on. They say this is the end time, so I'ma in the finale strong. Social media got you foolish, been a metaverse. Before the earth fully heals, it's gon' get hella worse. Got to be the living word, cut out that dead letter cursor. When you spit it to existence, manifest a better verse. In the light of the full moon, you'll soon see turtle shit in full bloom. A black sun pour doom down on these Moloch worshippers, burglars of the internal furniture of the temple of the grand furbisher. Elijah was the precursor. Y'all didn't hear him though. Instead, y'all condemned him as if he were a criminal. Whether mothership or mother went, we back with the vengeance. Return of the ancient ones, American engines. Operation Mockingbird, the same thing as Hunger Games and shortage of food. Truly the cause of the hunger pains is who? Honestly, a doctor. Are they phantoms of the opera proctors of Silicon Valley? And Big Pharma is Operation Naomi, America's top thing that poses for the MK Ultra program. And these doses of nanotech, these tests of swabs up the noses from youngest to oldest who inoculate this COVID. Are they the deep state or are we in a deep state? We say we got eye open. It's more like we sleep wake. Is it about enlightening or do you expose shit for clout and likes, which opposes a true socialist with this double-edged sword? I'm a true vocalist. I'm supposed to spit war upon you globalists and your 21 and 2030 agendas as the women weep for me. I'm a worthy avenger. In the light of the full moon, you'll soon see turtle shit in full bloom. A black sun pour doom down on these Moloch worshippers, burglars of the internal furniture of the temple of the grand furbisher. Elijah was the precursor. Y'all didn't hear him though. Instead, y'all condemned him as if he were a criminal. Whether mothership or mother wit, we back with a vengeance. Return of the ancient ones, American engines. Respect to all the real Aboriginal Neezies out there. Keep on fighting, y'all. Feathers up. These motherfuckers thought we was gonna stay asleep forever. Not this year. This blood is boiling hot in my veins. Fire. We done rose up my kneesies. Feathers up. Halito, my Rigo people. Those who read through the evil, deceitful, double speak use. Now these illegals, foreign delete fools that's been occupying the land for far too long. It's been docu-shining, sleight of hand to get you gone. Murder by numbers for paper genocide. Back to when many children, women, and men die. Like the road to Chickabaw or the Trail of Tears. Land turned to one big prison yard. We been in jail for years. Up Shit Creek, without a paddle, pump the river of death. Kill all our leaders and chiefs till there's not one deliverer left. I'm not Hiawatha or even Tecumseh. Restore Big Mama, issue foreigners doomsday. This Geechee man is who Geechee Gullah, so fuck you to whom you pray. Cash Squadron has risen up from where the ruins lay.
music and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up. The oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'ma lay him out, execution style's too late for an apologetic claim. You wrapped in a cloak of flame, by God, it's overdue and your time is in the end. Lock Jah silent without sin. He put me on the planet for justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down, with suppressors attached in the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger prophet like Farrakhan, backed by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle, who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the plentiful sinful. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill. This don't take any type of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. Over kneels too late when the caps get peeled. Don't believe in TC type. Going hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome when it's on the zone. All red in my vision through sight. It's gonna be killed whenever I fight. From above I'll be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' win them all, so gon' pass the kite. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business, you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme. Push. Step. Crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
African-American blood, you were forced to identify as African-American.
If you look at the old censuses, you will see people who clearly we know are Native American ancestry categorized as colored people or mulattoes. So there are many African Americans today, people socially identified as African Americans, who have Indian ancestry.
I was raised with my siblings, know what it means to work collectively, understand organization or structure respectively. I'm aware each individual must play their position in a shared vision, staring in faces of foes wishing the death of me. You've got appetite for destruction, I've got the recipe. It'll be more than an upset stomach for you digestively. Plenty much love and respect and family that checked on me when I'm swimming in prosperity. Get more than just a check for me. Rest assured what's in my chest is real, you'll get the best of me. What I offer upon the altar will be my legacy. Blessed be yet to be less is not in my pedigree, especially with my ancestries, not from DNA.com, but respectfully from my great granny's mouth. When I used to visit my great granny's house across the street from Jeffrey Manor, no doubt my old man Emmy would sit on my great granny's couch, fringes on my great granny's blouse. I keep you once I reach the top, there will be a table for all my people to feast that in memory of those we had to leave back. I be strapped on each track with no label to push my release back. These bows and hours are ripped through this de facto government's tissue. Not one shot will miss you. This industry will get hit too. This you, that guy's official. These other spitters will trick you as if what they spit is missile. Scud, but really ain't cut. Fizzle, but luckily Tuttle, she gives you substance in abundance. Radiance to the circumference. You love sense, it seems. The theme of others need adjustments, cause that content is nonsense. Repugnance. We protected women and children, they disrespected the skill and building of those of us. We the willing, we the people needful of healing. They sheeple, the marked, right hand or forehead shielded. The beast digital signature, nanotech mixture, MR, N8 fixer. In particular, similar picture to the 144,000 now. Here's the kicker, were you to truly research the literature's perimeter, same one who gave you God and devil, author, the scripture minister, / magistrate, predicted future, past his fate. The goal is to vacillate and approbate a cash estate. But their time is up, it's up to us to resist it. The veil has been lifted, the paradigm has shifted.
First, and understand that the so-called African American or the so-called black person with ancestral roots in America is in fact the American Indian. And remember, I use the word Indian because it is the legal term. If I was speaking to another indigenous person, I would refer to my tribe and they would refer to theirs. The American Indian is the indigenous aboriginal of the Americas.
Woo-wee! Nitsa, Shalom, what's going on? Shalom, what's happening, everybody? What's going on? Oh, yeah, excuse me. You know what they say about old wolves, right? Allergies come upon them, eyes water, things smell a little different. That's why sometimes we got to eat grass. Anyway, you see what the topic is. I'm always talking about reset, ascension, right? A lot of people aren't going to get it, and I could dig it. Some people have a hard time with certain individuals' delivery. Some people have a hard time because what's funny is not one individual in this existence, this world, doesn't use cuss words, are not deplorable in their state, their mental state, you know. And I'm always seeking the few. I don't care about the majority. And I know it's hard to hear me say that. It's not like I don't have a care in the world. You know, a lot of these terms I don't get into the linguistics because world, I don't know what that is. Everyone, I don't have no entitlement for that because it's a collective, regardless of it being in dismay, harming itself. Like, how do you say it? Having a nuclear reactor, you know, and the lead and the cores and this, that, and the heavy water and a certain temperature to keep it from Chernobyling, or the other one in Japan. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing I can really do for that. Like I said, I'm not here to stop nobody else. And someone say, well, you couldn't. That's your narcissistic behavior and your ignorance. It's not even about whether I can or can't. I am not here to stop what they're doing. That's just to, you know, subjugate the conscious that's fluctuating up and down on this worthless roller coaster and can't make heads or tail. Okay. Look how the bots and them tried to come in with the high, like it's going to, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, that's funny. I just don't respond. I don't care. I'm not responding to it now. Look, if anyone comes in to deflect, to cause any kind of, that's not going to happen. That's not going to work for me because I don't care. Just block them. Don't time them out. Block them. I don't care if they subscribe. Just come back over and block them. Okay? Because this is very important. Okay? So what is this? Whenever I drink chlorophyll, I don't do the whole 15 drops to 8 to 10 ounces. I use 8 to maybe 10 drops to about 10 to 12 ounces. It's just me. Chlorophyll kind of hits me hard. It's not that it's bad for me. Like I said, I'm just a little different. I don't want nobody. They have all the blood work that's well masked over, but it is what it is. Too much, I get headaches. And besides that, I already had oil of oregano today, so every other day for a week. But I'm going to read some things, and I want you to really, really, really pay attention, okay? But I want to first start off with a certain thing on the Google. I didn't go to Yandex or Brave or Firefox or whatever ones out there. They can see them all. I was going to read it to you because I want you to have a deeper understanding of it, you know, as far as like color charts and what I'm going to read. And then I would appreciate if you take the time not to complicate it. I know it's hard to say that because we've been dealing with an education system that has been, it's kind of a guild. Like, it's been designed to target a certain group. It's not about colors majorly. But there are those who would have to read, write, and listen, and then repeat it in order for it to stick. Today, I really, truly, I am convinced. I have this conviction to know that I'm going to say something right. I was going to say I hope it reaches you, but I have this conviction to know that what I'm going to say is going to be beneficial for those who benefit from it. Maybe they can reach out to somebody else. You know how they say in class, right? Well, if you didn't get it all, ask one of your, not as if you're good friends with either one, to get the other information. Or if you come into class late, you know how it is. Or I should just stay late and get the information. Or say, hey, teach, if I'm slacking on this, can I come later? And you get the information. If, you know, I really never really mess with, even though I knew everybody, I didn't really get down like that. You know, I was doing my thing, go to New York, grab my stuff, come out, hustle, da-da-da-da-da. Grandma used to say, what's that homework for? What the hell we paying for? Ain't that supposed to be done in school? So now you know where I got that from. And she was 1,000% legitimately correct, okay? So what I want to read is a color spectrum, and then I'm going to take it to somewhere. We're going to dismiss some things that create a false history, because some things, what is school about? Reprobate, right? Repetition until you get it over, till you get it down. You know, you get it, you get over the hump and you hold it, right? It's like, yeah, I got it. Just like a test. Some people have that that memory, that photo, you know what I'm saying? They can remember right off the back. And then some individuals literally have to sit there and they have to read, they have to cross-reference, they have to make sure that they have it locked in. So again, today my convictions is the majority of you will get it. Don't worry, I've done it quite a few times. I don't have my videos organized. They're just right there. You go and look at them, you watch them. Hey, I know that there are those of you who are getting it, but you're not applying it. I am very well aware of it. And trust me when I say this. I really, really would enjoy you taking this stuff and really putting it to the test. Okay? And I know I have to do this over and over and over. And I've been doing it different ways. But this way I might stay on this. That way, especially if somebody sits there and says, hey, look, because I always respond to y'all's comments, whether it's a like, a heart, or whatever, right? If I have to sit there and do it again by one of your requests, then I will do it again exactly the same way. So it could be repetitive. Because everything in this world that you're dealing with is repetition. It doesn't matter if you go from WNBC to NBC to Fox to ABC to, you get what I'm saying, CBS. It's always going to be the same thing, and it's going to be different individuals putting it out there. And that instills something in you. All right? We don't want people crashing out, okay? We don't want individuals crashing out. Okay? So first, let me read this, okay? What's that? Kwam Haru. I don't know, that's right. It's good to, hey, Emerald, I hope everything's good over there too, beloved. My phone's not working right now because I'm not going to pay that bill that they want me to pay a year ago, that there was no reason because everything's paid. As far, you know, I'm not even going into it because then that's circumventing, navigating in their field of stupidity, and there's no legitimacy there. All right. But anyway, first I want to deal with the color spectrum of purple, violet. Well, there's a word for it, and I really want you to listen to what we're going to read. The AI overview, because it's pretty spot on as far as what people believe. Hey, baby, the birds right there. Look at me. Anyway, so listen to this. Okay, let me make sure I got the over here. Yeah, I got it. Okay. While violet and indigo are both within the purple and blue spectrum, they are listen to this. Eyes watering, my apologies. They are distinct. Violet is the shade of purple positioned at the end of the visible spectrum. Wouldn't the end be here? Not your buttocks? All right. While indigo is a darker, deeper blue, often placed between blue and violet in the rainbow. Well, let's pull this up. Oh, my nose is running, my eyes running, everything running. I'm not running. Demise. So in between there. Okay. Remember, there's only 3 colors that make all the colors, and one with a composite of white and black also in there. We'll merge it and get gray. And then what does yellow do with that? What does blue do that with the right tint? What is black? You know what I mean? What is violet or indigo? Okay. Hold on. Now, violet, a shade of purple, generally considered to be a mix of red and blue, but with a higher proportion of red than indigo. It's often described as an intense purple. Again, a shade of purple. Indigo, okay, a dark, deep blue, often positioned between blue and violet in the rainbow. It's sometimes considered a shade of blue, but with a purplish cast. How you pick it up? The rainbow, which is Roy, I think it's like Roy Biv or something like that. Sequence red, orange, as far as the narrative, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Indigo is placed between blue and violet. So always remember that. I have something to read at the end. Now, why am I reading that? Okay, let me pull this up. Okay. We're going to read from The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. It's bigger than that. Spiritual is a coined phrase, okay, by Eckhart Tolle, okay? And we're going to go back into enlightened relationships, okay? Excuse me. My nose is running. I'm probably going to get a rag or something. Duh. Okay? No, we're not going to read that. We're going to read this over here. My apologies. Read that last. The secret science. The secret science of the sacred secretion, secret of the science of the sacred secretion, however you want to determine it. And for those who have never seen it, it's just right here. Okay. So we're going to go right to the crown chakra. Now, what I was going to dismiss is the fact that crown, if you say king and queen, that's a form of authority. If you look at old movies, you think peasants and royalty. That royalty is bull. The crown is bull. That golden thing on their head, they say, 1,000 years old, bull. It's all nonsense. Because if you want to believe in Tartary, and I'm not being dismissive of Tartary, you know that. I'm an advocate of the truth of it. Regardless of what the name is, we run with Tartary. There were no kings and queens running around. Everything was balanced. I tell you, all that is a fiction created for this time period to be subjugated, subordinate, and especially for all these incubator babies who don't know real history, who have been subjugated and made to believe that there's some great existence when all they do is make war. That's nothing against our light-skinned brothers and sisters. For those with an open mind, that is for those who are not triggered and those who understand deeply and with compassion because they see the relevance of life and not the irrelevance. You know, when you eat meat, the blood that's in it, it's adrenochrome in it, even though it's not from the head, but it's the misery and the pain suffered. So when, especially when you buy dark meat, it doesn't matter what it is, okay? And that, when you consume it, you take it in, it further declines and it neutralizes. You paying attention? Okay, you better be. So the crown chakra, right? This chakra vibrates violet. What do you do when you dance and you laugh? It's frequencies, vibrations, right? When you dance, right? Right? All that movement, what is the body doing? What's the body doing? Is there a color spectrum? You just can't see it. It's a frequency, a vibration, a vibe. What's your vibe, bro? You know what I mean? Boom, boom, ooh, child. Things are gonna get easier. You know what I'm saying? So now, hey now, I go. The Dixie Cups. You know what I'm saying? It makes you. Oh, it's not that it makes you, but it does. It affects the frequency, the vibration. Kiramio, what's up? What's going on, beloved? Oh, someone knows, guys. I'm gonna have to probably run and get a towel or bandana or something. So anyway, so this chakra vibrates violet. See, violet, in order for the color to exist on the spectrum, it's a frequency. It vibrates, and you see it at its spectrum. Okay. Okay, is centered at the top of the head, the crown, and is associated with spirituality. Well, it's not saying that you don't exist as a whole, based on like what we think is the commodity of the spirit or soul. Okay, remember, 7 to 8 ounces comes in you when you come into the world and leaves you when you expire. Physically, we think. This energy center acts like a funnel. Remember when I stated that if you really meditate and you do it long enough, you learn how to look at the sky, you see the black and white dots. It's like looking at a TV screen, the pixelation. Okay? Same thing when you look at the earth. When I meditate and I look at the earth, the rocks are moving. Well, the dirt, it's like it shakes real fast. And when I get channeled in, I get this honeycomb channel that goes down to the ground. And when I look up, it moves up. And it's literally going out. And then it comes in. Look, if you're doing it, you know what I'm stating. That I'm going to say over and over and over, because you need to mentally make it physically. That means you see it. Even though it's not really there, it is. Remember, you can't see things because you're not in tune. You have not been taught, trained up, or nurtured into that symposium of a deeper understanding. Okay? Excuse the nose and all that, right? So the center acts like a funnel, transferring and receiving information from the universal energy field. It's all around you. You're in it. You're a part of it. It is linked to the pineal, all right, gland and the choroid plexus. Now, those of you who know medicine, so if you know that eyes are the windows to the soul, why is it that they have to calcify your pineal gland? Why is it that they have to have all these chemicals? So you will be stressed and your cortisol levels will go up. Then they interfere with all these man-made toxins and everything that feed certain microbial organs. What did I say earlier? Worms, parasites, parasitical organisms, okay? It's important that you remember these things, and I'm going to say them a whole lot from now on, because a lot of you have parasites in you, more than one, not just the tapeworm, all right? And those parasites can be destroyed. Now, we don't have the bells. We're not all getting together, gathering sand, making a box, putting certain white sand in, putting forms of wax in, covering it, packing it down, and then making a hole with a tube, and then pouring iron in there to make a bell at the right, measurements. And then putting them in a certain way, dynamic to the Earth's field of 728, whatever, 728, right? To deal with the 432 that's all around you, all right? The universe code. And because we don't have that, you have to use other means. So the other means is this here, and that gut instinct that says do otherwise, because you've been doing this for so long. And when you start doing otherwise, things change, whether it be on a minor scale or a large scale. Okay? Why is this important? Let's go into the power of now. Enlighten relationships. Enter the now from wherever you are. It's not hard. I don't even like saying that word because to y'all that means something. It's not complicated. There's no conviction required. It just means that you must be pragmatic in self-study. Now, let's go ahead and read this. I don't want some running nose dripping there looking retarded. Anyway, I always thought that it's like two conversations. You can have it with yourself. I always thought that true enlightenment is not possible except through love. In a relationship between a man and a woman, isn't this what makes us whole again? How can one's life be fulfilled until that happens? Now, that's a question. Is that true in your experience? Has this happened to you? As if you're reading this and the writer is asking. So I'm asking, is it true? Has it ever happened to you? This thought process that is meaningless, but it is we are mindful to it because we have been inundated. Repetition. In other words, you are waiting for an event in time to save you. Is this not the core error that we have been talking about? Salvation is not elsewhere in place or time. It is here and now. You have been avoiding it because you were unaware of it. Again, you have been avoiding it because you are unaware of it. What does that statement mean? Salvation is here and now. Who is your first responder? What if you're stressed? Fight or flight happens, and there's a chemical, it's called cortisol. What does that do? It takes the calcium and all the other poisons and toxins, and it builds plaque up in your arteries. And what happens from there? Well, the pressure, your heart beats faster. And what happens from there? Well, if your main veins, your highway, your road work, right, has all these bumps and obstacles and potholes, it's going to cease. It's going to say, I can't do this. Headaches and everything else. Most of you, and was doing this with T, can't even hold your breath for a minute. At least you should be able to hold it for 2 minutes. I hold it for almost 3 minutes. Yeah, I know. I'm a diver, swimmer, and that's that and other. Oh my goodness, the wolf in me. Anyway, right? Just pay attention. So salvation is here and now. I don't understand it, right? And this is to be clear. You should always say these things so that way you can gather an understanding. I don't even know what salvation means, all right? So let's pull up salvation, and then we'll come back, okay? I think it's the 4th tab. No, it's more than that, so let's put it in. Woo! Nose is just doing it. So, in the Google, I'm not going to go Yandex and all that other stuff. Salvation, preservation, or deliverance from harm, ruin, or loss. So, what I'm sharing, if you are worried about loss, well, you shouldn't be worried, first of all, but you probably are, all right? You need to eradicate that. That's why meditation is important, to find a calming space. So that way you can breathe appropriately. That's why before doing yoga or meditation, you should have, and you can look, there's a whole bunch, breathing exercises, and they're magnificent, okay? And that will help so much, all right? Now, deliverance from sin and its consequences, believed by Christians to be brought about by faith in Christ. You get where that's coming from. Regardless of whether you want to be dismissive or not, there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? There's more to it. Okay. So when you think about it, salvation in Latin is salus or is salutaire, okay? Whenever you look these words up, they're going to go to God, Christ, and this, that, and other, which we already know. The science of the sacred secretion, the chrism, Christ, liquid, okay? The brain, how it functions, the universe, which you are in, okay? Whether you want to believe otherwise, not some fake outer space, when you need to occupy the space right here, okay? It's linear, you know, you get what I'm saying? Okay, let's go back over here to power now. Excuse all the facial body liquids. Anyway, most people pursue physical pleasures or various forms of psychological gratification. Cocaine, all the drugs that you see out there, right? The medical industry. It masks it over. It doesn't fix anything. It doesn't solve anything. It robs you. It makes you complacent, so that way you don't know who you are. You don't move in the dynamic of your design. All right? You know how an engine, you got the oil pan, you got the camshaft, you got the rotors, you got the push rods and pistons and all that, right? Then you have the internal compartment with your, excuse me, your belly pan and your carb and all that up here. You got your, what you call it, valve covers, you know, where you get the combustion with the fluid and all that, with the oil, the gas and the air, as long as you got the spark plugs, with the pressure giving the spark to keep it turning. You kind of move and your body functions in the same way, but yet your spark is always on until you retire and go to rest. Your spark moves on. Okay? And it returns. Okay? Because they believe that, anyway, gratification, because they believe that things will make them happy or free them from a feeling of fear or lack. You know, a lot of people do drugs to bypass their inhibitions, right? What does that get? And it gets a lot of cold tables with a whole lot of its on it in a morgue. Or walls with bars as if you're in a zoo to do the work laboriously of indigence. So, happy or free them from a feeling of fear or lack of. Happiness may be perceived as a heightened sense of aliveness, attained through physical pleasure, or a more secure and more complete sense of self attained through some form of psychological gratification. This is the search for salvation from a state of unsatisfactoriness or insufficiency. Invariably, any satisfaction that they obtain is short-lived. So, yeah, with a whole lot of Norcam or some other adrenal or something like that, which is not normal. Attained through physical pleasure, or a more secure and more complete sense of self-attained through some form of psychological gratification. Now, this is the search for salvation from a state of unsatisfactoriness, okay? Remember that, invariably, blah, blah, blah. And any satisfaction that they obtain is short-lived, and so the condition of satisfaction or fulfillment is usually projected once again onto an imaginary point away from the here and now. Now, when I obtain this, or am free of that, then I will be okay. Okay? It's like a two-edged sword. Okay? This is the unconscious mindset that creates the illusion of salvation in the future. Now, the enemy, whether it's adrenochrome, sacrifice, fear, overcoming their fear and thinking that taking a life, because the circle does that, of a young one, is going to be the beneficial because of the virginality of it. It's all fiction. Well, in magic, it works because something is gifting these people with something of a false narrative, and they have succumbed to it. That has nothing to do with elevation and moving on and ascending. All right? True salvation is fulfillment, peace, life in all its fullness. It is to be who you are, to feel within you the good that has no opposite, the joy of being that depends on nothing outside itself. It is felt not as a passing experience, but as an abiding presence. In theistic language, it is to know God, to know self. Some of you have this faculty of thought that to know God, you're going to always conceptualize something greater, the Most High. You don't know it because it's calcified, it's off, it is not functioning correctly. So you don't, therefore, you look into the mirror and you forget that you see the face of God. God to y'all is still not dismissing something outside. But the importance is, why would I create you and allow you to run around not knowing who you are? Out of order, I forget what it is in that fake Greek, out of order will come chaos. But first there must be chaos to establish order. That means a ruling party to establish something that is a concord that has nothing to do with your origin, who you truly are, but to usury. How do you bypass that? We've already talked about exercises. Everybody can pull up the chakra charts, the Om chants, the Krams, the Ohms, everything, you know. You can pull those up. The breathing patterns, which is not complicated to practice. The mindset. You are what you believe, think, and speak. If it wasn't the case, why are you always being entertained, entered, and contained? Remember all these individuals, and don't stem yourself and be stuck in this form of thinking. They're all part of some druidical order, okay? They use a wand made from the holly tree. They cast spells through Hollywood, and you know this. And it used to be called Hollywood Land. They say a great fire destroyed it. They couldn't say Hollywood Land because the holly tree doesn't grow on that soil. To access it, you have to practice these things. Unless you know it and you implore yourself to employ yourself to deploy this fact of your existence. You don't have to sit around dramatically communicating and conversating about something that is rightfully you. No. How many of y'all fasted this week? I haven't. I'm getting ready to. How many of y'all took each month as if it could be your last? They created that last ideology. It says, well, seeing how it could be, I'm going to give myself a 24 to 72 hour fast because it's not going to kill you. All right? You can sip water or green tea, low caffeine or not. You can do things, even partake in little cacao, the pods, which are very bitter. Okay? You can order these things. Okay? Some of you are so caught up in the world because a lot of you got to get up, you got to go and make the donuts. You only got to because you believe you got to. Now imagine if you believe, no, today I got to ascend. I have to walk in the light of my truth. I don't have to argue with those who are at a lower place. And they are. Could you imagine sitting there arguing with somebody? And you realize, wait a minute, I'm arguing with this individual. It's like Boondocks, the nigga moment. Remember? The brothers walk, bow, 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 bow. Light-skinned guy goes, wait a minute. I'm not having a nigga moment. And wait, throw your life away. You know what I mean? People say they want to live, and they don't even know what living is. People say they have a life, and they have not entertained it. They have not danced with the angels, but danced with the devil on a regular, by the narratives expressed in those terminologies. Why is it so complicated to remove yourself from confliction? Because when that cortisol hits, that's because of stress. You are in a very stressful situation, a very stressful world. Do you think that you have to be there? Now, this is suggestive, what I'm doing. I'm asking you, do you believe, lack of knowledge and knowing, do you believe that you have to be in that state? No. Not at all. Chlorophyll. What are its benefits? Well, let's read what they say compared to what you might know. So chlorophyll, a green pigment present in all green plants and in cyanobacteria, responsible for the absorption of light to provide energy for photosynthesis. Its molecule contains a magnesium atom held in a porphyrin ring. You know how they say black folk, they don't absorb much vitamin D. Yet they say the black skin absorbs the light. And the light skin burns. You see where I'm coming from? If you allow yourself to stay in their narrative, in their science, you will continue, because their science is to undo. I saw melanated people when I was in California and New York walking around with sunscreen on their nose and on their cheeks. I was like, what in the world? What the? Who the? And they got all the clothes on. They don't put on those shorts. They won't take the shirt off. They won't allow the sun to massage them and rub them down. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, Dad, I got you. So you need to be mindful of what you do, how you do it, and when you do it. And if you're on medication, medication doesn't mean heal and cure. Remember that. It's medication. You've been indoctrinated repetitively to think that it has something with making you feel better. It only numbs for a short period of time until your body corrects itself. And a lot of times, some of that stuff, a lot of side effects. If you do things in moderation and you really focus on minute amounts, you're not starving yourself. You're allowing something back in, like the suppository, putting stuff in the vault, you know what I'm saying, to lock away for later. Well, later is now. And a lot of you are not putting anything worthy in the suppository, but you're searching for that fiat, which is worthless. It's not because they removed the gold and silver standard. It's worthless from the get-up. That is the game they played once they got everybody stuck on it, so they can bring whole nations down. Because everybody is fluid with that, but not with themselves or with each other. I am not saying go and be fluid with everybody. You first have to step into your, how do you say it? Your grail. Your grail. You have to step into your grail. You have to feel your chalice. You have to sip or drink from it. Right now, most people don't want to drink from it because who wants to drink from it? A dirty cup. And why is it dirty? Let's be practical. Why is it dirty? It doesn't have to be. Okay? I hope that was informative. Don't worry, I'll be talking about this a whole lot. Have to. I hope, I hope that y'all get it. All right. If anybody donated, I didn't look. So if you donate, appreciate it, and I'll shout you guys out tomorrow or whatever. I think tomorrow's Friday, I guess. And we'll go over this again, especially in the AM. I think it's better in the AM, especially some of y'all go to work and there's people you might not like. You don't have to dislike or like anybody. You're there to take care of what you call a job and to go and further better yourself. You don't have to smile or look mean in everybody's face. You don't have to push. You don't have to create something out of nothing. Most of the people around you will. This will make you stronger. But you have to. I implore that you all really pay attention and take heed. But it's your choice. And remember, it's always your choice. All right? I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to old fogey like me. I hope you got something out of it. Yeah, appreciate you, Caramel. Appreciate you, brother. Karen, where you throwing them little tookies at? Oh, Mac, what's going on, beloved? On the road, beloved? Well, as long as you was able to be in here and watch, you don't have to be typing and crashing. You probably had a light. But watch this again, and I appreciate you guys. I really do. All right? And I'll see y'all in the AM.